But I've got a story I am going to tell y'all today, and that I've never told it before. My favorite stories develop over time, sometimes years, sometimes generations. They create a full circle. When Daddy died on April 5th, 1978, I was in the 7th grade with those two girls right there at Gerard Junior High School. My sister Angie was a freshman doing her obligatory year at the local junior college, and my sister Starlight was at Auburn, and she was about to graduate. She had one summer quarter left. She also was in education, she was in special ed, and she did her student teaching that summer at a year-round special ed school. So mamas didn't have to really worry about Starlight's school expenses. And at that time, in 1978, a survivor received a Social Security check if they stayed in college, they received their Social Security check through college. So Angie pinched her pennies and she got out of college with her Social Security check, and Daddy had some life insurance, of course, and Mama ran their small business selling church furnishings out of our basement on a much smaller scale, but she continued to do that. When I was a junior in high school, cuts were implemented to Social Security, and they changed the child survivor's check to end at 18 years old, regardless of whether you were in college or not. So my check was going to end at 18. We had some friends who were seniors who had lost their daddies, and they were grandfathered in. But I was in the first group to go to college without that necessary stipend. And while I loved Auburn University, because that's what Kings did, I wanted to go to Sanford after my obligatory year to local junior college. Mama wanted to send me, but how could she? And then again, I had spent a third of my childhood in a household of grief. How could she not send me? How could she not let me do what I wanted to do? She tossed and turned more than I ever imagined at the time. She turned to friends for counsel, and they told her to let me go. They said things would work out, that God would provide, and that we'd be okay. Now, mind you, I'm a kid, and I have no idea what I'm asking of her. In the mid-'80s, it cost $6,000 a year to attend Stanford University. It was a fraction of the cost to go to Auburn. I did not receive a scholarship, and we had too much money on paper for me to receive financial aid. She let me go. I was packing for my dorm room the summer of 1984, and I received in the mail a statement of my account from the bursar's office. About $1,500 was due for tuition, and about $1,500 was due for room and board, so a total of about $3,000 for the fall semester. Subtracted from that amount was $1,500 from a scholarship I had unknowingly been given. It was listed only as miscellaneous scholarship. Miscellaneous scholarship, $3,000 a year. I don't remember the details about what followed. I'm sure Mama called financial aid. I don't recall the conversation. All I remember is I knew at that moment, without a shadow of a doubt, that somebody had donated money in my name, and I knew who did it. And I never told a soul. I am a blabbermouth, and sometimes we blabbermouths get a bad rap. People think we are gossips. Now, I try real hard not to gossip. I'm much better at 51. I'm looking at these two than I was at 21. But I don't like people to talk bad about me, so I try real hard not to talk bad about other people. There's my alarm. I don't spoil surprises. People think, well, I've never spoiled surprises. I've never knowingly spoiled a surprise in my whole life. Angie is the one that Mama tells on to rip the shower curtain open when Daddy was bathing, she naked as a jaybird, and said, I'm not going to tell you what we got you for Christmas, but it's going to help you. I'm going to swing you in the sunshine. That's Angie. People think blabbers are negative. I'm not negative to anybody that does not live at 2101 Ashford think blabbers are tattletales. I don't think I'm a tattletale. People think blabbers tell secrets, and I don't tell secrets. I don't tell my own secrets, and if you've trusted me with yours, I'm not going to tell yours either. All that to say, Mom and I never talked about where that money came from. Maybe she had admitted to me that somebody donated it. Maybe she didn't. I really don't remember. At some point, I asked Angie, I told Angie who I thought it was, and she confirmed my suspicions. But I've never told anybody but Chuck. He knew from the very beginning, and he's known this couple for 30 years, and to my knowledge, they have no idea that we suspect them. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, I don't know. I've always wanted to tell them thank you, but I don't know how. Do I write on their Christmas card, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank you for my college education? Do I mention it when I run into them at the Holiday South lunch buffet after church on Sunday? And the Holiday Inn South in Dothan is not the Holiday Inn South anymore, it's the Clarion Inn, but it's always for a generation, it's going to be the Holiday Inn South. It's a nice lunch buffet. You probably, some of y'all live in Mrs. Jones' house, and Mrs. Jones has been dead since Nixon was president. You know how we cling to this house too, probably still goes by what it was called. Anyway, at the Holiday Inn South, do I call the children over and say, hey kids, y'all come here. I want you to meet my benefactors. You know, you read Great Expectations in the 11th grade. Well, they're Magwitch, and I am Pip. I didn't know how to do it, but when Catherine Woodruff called me a year ago, I knew I could finally tell my tale, this full circle story. The couple is still in Dothan, they're healthy and they're in their 70s. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but because of you, I am going to somehow broach the subject. Like Daddy, Mama died far too soon, so she never knew. I always knew. The couple who was my legacy league paid for my college as a gift to me, as a gift to the memory of Daddy, who was their friend. But mainly it was a gift to Mama. They gifted her with deep breaths and good night's sleep. They gifted my Abby with her college education too, because she might not have come to Samford. I doubt we would have looked at Samford had it not been an alum. And Abby loved Samford University, and actually she's going to be here this weekend, or going to be in Birmingham going with her college roommate, and they're going to Phantom Opera. She lives in Dothan. She's back home, but she teaches preschool. She has an integrated class of special friends and typical peers. And she is so grateful for all those, that burden that those education department professors laid on her back then, because her burden is lighter. And just as a little proud mama note, she received the Ralph Beeson Scholarship her senior year in the education department, and we were so proud of her for that. I think she's a little proud of herself too. And then later, she went privately to Dr. Box and shared about some financial struggles that were suffocating our family. And Dr. Box found a little more money to help her finish the year and therefore get her degree. I don't know where it came from, but that's Abby's story that she can tell your daughters in 30 years. Thank you, Legacy League, for giving kids like me an opportunity to attend Samford University. Thank you for inviting me to blabber to you today, because you didn't know you were giving me an inroad to thank my own Legacy League. A generation later, but not too late. But thank you mostly for the mamas widowed far too soon that you gift deep breaths and good night's sleep.